ECU?
R.
Do you bleed purple and gold? Are you ready to hoist the colors?
Hoist the colors!
It's time for the most in-depth look into the world of ECU athletics. Welcome to Hoist the Colors with your host, Stephen Igo on 94.3 The Game. Watch the show live on Facebook and at 943thegame.com. Here's Stephen Igo.
It's a free-for-all Sports Friday. Ton of sports going on in the world, including the World Cup in North America. The United States plays its first game tonight. We'll hit on some World Cup. We'll also hit on some baseball news close to home as East Carolina continues to have a little bit of staff turnover, or a lot of it. Jake Gautreaux going to Coastal Carolina, reuniting with Chris Lemonis. They won a national championship together at Mississippi State, so they reunite, and that means ECU will promote Bryant Packard, former All-American hitter and outfielder, to its hitting coach. We'll get into that in segment 2. We'll also talk about Omaha. That gets underway today in Nebraska. Who's our projected winner? We'll discuss that as well. And here in segment 1, we're going to hit on the Hurricanes because they are one win away from a Stanley Cup trophy, which is just incredible to think about. They win last night against Vegas to take a 3-2 series lead going back to Vegas. That game set for Sunday evening. Today in studio, we've got Bobby Harward. He is back. Sup Dogs brings you Bobby Harward today. You guys know the deal. Check them out downtown Greenville. They do so much for ECU athletics. And obviously just a great place to hang out, eat lunch, eat dinner, have a few drinks. Check out Crush Vodka as well. So appreciate Brett and everybody at Sup Dogs for their support. Make sure to support them in return. Bobby, how you doing on this Friday, my friend?
I'm doing great. I wore the same shirt I wore last week, but I wore it just for you.
I'm going to tell you to get out of here right now.
This was intentional.
He is wearing the Pete Alonso Polar Pete shirt, who has hit 2 nukes the last 2 days against the Seattle Mariners, and one of which I saw in person on Wednesday. Yesterday, I mean, that was a straight-up bomb off Brian Wu, and the Orioles end up nothing like splitting a good 4-game series, you know?
Dude, I mean, my emotions of the Orioles the last week and a half, it went from like we were on like a 4 or 5-game winning streak. I think we had won 8 of our last 11. Then we lose 4 in a row. Looked like we could potentially get swept by the Mariners in a 4-game series or drop 3 of the 4, and then we come back and split. Like, I think that's just the definition of the Orioles season right now, the up and down. Thankfully, the AL is just a just trash can right now, a dumpster fire.
Bad, man.
It's so bad, and they're like a game and a half, 2 games out of the wild card. So, and now I'm actually reading about one of your Denver Broncos linebackers getting arrested. I mean,
he got in trouble last week, and now he's getting in trouble again for like following up on what happened the first time. So look, I'm sure it's just a girlfriend-wife situation. Obviously, we'll see the details come out in time, but not promising for Jonathan Cooper. And luckily, Denver is super deep at edge rusher. And last I checked, Von Miller is begging to come back to Denver. So if worse comes to worse, we can just re-sign him to a one-year deal. So, but yeah, not good news there. Philip Pilkington's here as well. He's hanging out intern Mary. And you were doing some pre-show social media? Is that what this was? I didn't even know you were doing this.
That was the whole point. You weren't supposed to know. It was a raw reaction to my question.
Writing an article.
Yeah, and I just caught you off guard, so that's how it works. I'm posting it on TikTok right now, on our company's TikTok.
The 94.3 The Game TikTok. Are you following that, Bob?
I have never created a TikTok account. I have never logged into TikTok. I can't say I've never watched the TikTok, but I've never been on the application.
I'm not a big TikTok guy either, so I've got an account. I've got like 3 Hoist the Colors accounts because I keep losing my login. So
good job.
And like I feel like such an old person. Like I'm all over Twitter and Instagram and YouTube. I probably need to do more TikTok stuff for my business. But like what am I gonna do? Just record myself talking? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I guess I can do stuff when I cover games, but
right.
I don't know. It's just not in my alley.
I guess my thought was, like, I'll be honest, I was late to the party, and I didn't get an Instagram until like 2 or 3 years ago, and I only got an Instagram because Twitter went down like right during NBA and NHL free agency a few summers ago, and I was like, I need to get news and information somehow, so I created Instagram. But my Twitter usage has now decreased.
Okay.
I deleted Facebook in 2015.
Facebook is terrible.
I have been off of that forever.
Outside of my business and posting, because it does get a lot of reach because there are obviously a lot of people still utilizing Facebook. it gets a lot of clicks and interactions and all that, but I don't get up there because there's too much stuff I don't want to read. The other thing I was going to bring up, do y'all remember Threads? And Threads is tied to Instagram. It's basically supposed to be Twitter for Instagram. I randomly got on that this morning just to see what was happening. And it still exists, and Instagram is still pushing it, but man, it's like a ghost town. There's 5 people posting.
Can't say I dabbled in Threads either. No.
Did you get on Threads, Philip? During that?
No, I did not. I did not get on that. And
Twitter.
And also, so I cannot do Threads, and there's something else now too. Isn't there something on Facebook that's a similar thing?
There's Blue Sky. I haven't
what's
gotten on
Blue
that.
Sky? I've seen sports writers.
Or no, maybe it's not that. Maybe mine is Threads. I don't know. There's something on Instagram or Facebook.
Instagram is tied to Threads.
Oh, yeah. And it's I'll click on something. It's
Facebook,
download Threads. And I'm yeah, no, not doing it. Sorry.
That's a whole meta thing. And Blue Sky is the alternative if you don't want to use X because of Elon Musk and all this stuff. A lot of writers have gone to Blue Sky.
Interesting.
So I guess it's another app, which I also have not done.
Has it turned into a disaster that X has turned into? I mean,
it's supposed to be a lot more clean and just there's probably valid reasons to go there because right now as somebody who has to be on X for my business, I get up there and it's just the For You tab, and I guess it's based on algorithm, but if you click on one video, it floods your account with all that stuff for forever. So yeah, it's a mess. Anyways. Carolina Hurricanes. You can find a lot of Carolina Hurricanes stuff on social media because they are now leading their series 3-2. And, it wasn't drama-free last night, but I feel like it was a pretty clean victory for the Canes as they win 4-2. They finally get some help from their first line, Aho and Svechnikov. So, man, it was about time those guys came through, Bobby.
Dude, we were I don't think by myself in this or alone in this, but I was kind of thinking to myself this series, hey, if they drop this series and don't win the Stanley Cup and we get zero production out of Aho, do those hard conversations need to be had? And I don't think even after last night's game, it's out of the realm of possibility to have those conversations because he has been non-existent. But just to get the monkey off of those guys back and Svech, not just score 1 goal, but to score 2. And again, the power play continuing to show up, which when it had been historically bad leading up to the Stanley Cup Finals, all just pluses. And I was fully expecting and. You guys know I'm an emotional guy. I feel like I'm either super optimistic or super pessimistic. There's no middle ground. And having your team in the Stanley Cup, I think if you are watching this series from the outside, you're this is probably one of the greatest Stanley Cups ever. But in the midst of it as a fan, it is just gut-wrenching. And it's been exciting nonetheless, but I was not expecting a win last night. Full disclosure, didn't get to see much of the first period because the fiasco of putting children to bed and how that turns out. So I missed most of it, but turned it on just in time to see us clear the puck out of over the glass and get a penalty, which we did 3 times last night. So that needs to stop. But
can we talk about that for a second? Not to cut you off, but
you're good.
Why is that a 2-minute penalty? I just feel like that should be. I guess you can only do 2-minute penalties because that's what hockey's always done. But it feels like too big of a punishment, man, for something that happens quite frequently.
The thing is, though, I get what you're saying, Steven, but I think the whole point is to keep guys from intentionally doing it. That's the thing. And when you see it happen accidentally, it is crap. That's a 2-minute penalty. But just think about the amount of times, if it wasn't a 2-minute penalty, guys just would be in the defensive zone and just be oh crap,
Check
man, we need a change. We have not been able to get out of this zone. This has been a 1.5-minute shift, and they would just start hitting flop shots into the stands.
And I guess there's no way to really determine if a video review if it's intentional or not.
Yeah, because if you start splitting hairs, it's going to be people are going to call.
It just feels politics. A lot of them are accidental, and it ends up being super costly. But I get the intent of the rule for sure. What did you think of last night's game?
I thought early I was a little worried. It was very fast, very open. Vegas's goal came on the rush, and then Carolina had a rush opportunity right after that they didn't score on. It was a bad pass that kind of got in on Stahl's skate, and it was man, if they continue to play this brand of hockey, it's going to benefit Vegas. Vegas is going to score more on the rush because that's what they do. They score in transition and they like a fast game. And I thought once the second period hit, it really slowed down. It started to feel more like playoff hockey. Probably those last two periods, probably the most playoff hockey it's felt really throughout the entirety of the series. Slow puck control in the zone, trying to, kind of score the old school way. And that benefits Carolina, and it benefited Carolina's big guys, their main guys, with Svech getting 2 and Aho getting 1. So, if Carolina can play that the next 3 periods, I think the Stanley Cup will be won in Sin City. But it's going to be easier said than done because they're going to try and speed you up. They're going to try and spread you out. And they're going to try and play their brand in front of their people. And I'm sticking to what I said, middle of game 3. I think I've told you guys this. I told Thomas, middle of game 3, this will be the first ever Stanley Cup Finals to go in overtime in game 7. Sticking to my prediction.
All right. It would be electric, and Bobby would be sweating bullets, and along with the Canes fans. But I would love it as a person who, I wouldn't mind seeing the Canes win at this point. I've got enough friends who are Canes fans, but I'm in it for the good hockey. Like watching Carolina play defense, even though it was a 2-goal game when it was 6-on-4 for that power play, and they had the extra. They had the goalie off the ice. Like that was pretty electric to watch. Just watching Carolina kill those chances. I know they got fortunate on one that almost got by Bussy and hit the bar, but man, it was the arena was electric, and Carolina was playing electric defense at that moment. So that was just awesome hockey to watch. Tim Smith is in the chat. Somebody Bobby knows well. He says Ehlers' passing has been electric, and he follows up on the ruling. Why they penalized the teams for throwing the puck into the stand. So I get it. It's just, I don't know. I just feel like it's a pretty harsh punishment, but I understand as well. The Canes. So you guys want to go to Game 6? We can go for $573 for general admission.
What's the plane ticket out to Vegas?
Probably.
Dude, if we can get a Frontier flight,
you can probably get a decent flight from.
Let's do this. We fly on Frontier. I think you can get a direct out of Greensboro, maybe Raleigh even too. Fly there, go to the game, just spend the night in the casino, and then fly back. It's probably cheaper than going to Game 7 on Lenovo, isn't it?
Yeah. I was about to say, get-in price as of now for Game 7. I'm looking at it. It is $2,027 for Section 311 Row P, and basically anything in the upper deck, $2,000 plus. If you want to go lower deck, you're looking at $4,000 to $6,000. So I guess I have to put myself in the shoes of if I was if the Mariners were playing Game 7 of the World Series, would I pay this much to go? And I just don't think I could do $1,500, $1,000. I don't think I could cross the $2,000 mark, Bobby. That's a lot.
Here's my thing. I can't cross it because if I go in Brittany, that's $4,000 right there. Like that. So I should get a confirmation text here in the next hour or so. I believe I will be in the Lenovo Center for the watch party on Game 6 on Sunday. So I'm excited about that. I think that would be fun.
You're about to be in the Lenovo Center for Game 7.
I'm paying $10 for this ticket to watch.
That's more fair.
My whole thought too is even if they make it to a Game 7, I would love to just go to the watch party outside of the Lenovo Center, or even just go to the watch party downtown or one of the bars in Raleigh. Just being around it to me would be just as fun as, it's not the same as being in the arena, but it would be just as cool experience, that atmosphere just kind of in Raleigh. I will say an impressive thing, Greenville's kind of stepped up with some watch parties. I know La Rancherita had one, which was kind of out of left field.
Not where you would expect the Hurricanes to watch.
Not where I expected. Party. Jack Brown's had one. Sup Dogs, sponsor of today's show, has had a few. And then obviously Simply Natural's been doing some cool stuff with the Stanley Cup.
And interesting, so Game 6 is Sunday. The Bird Dogs at Granger Stadium in Kinston had a 4 or 5 o'clock, something like that, first pitch. And then they're going to put the game, once the baseball game ends, hockey doesn't start to close to 8:30 on the big screen. They're going to let people stay and watch the game at Granger Stadium and kind of have their own watch party.
That's pretty cool.
Go ahead.
I got something for Ehlers. I know my father-in-law had mentioned about his passing, which has been incredible. He had a terrific pass last night. He in his playoff span with the Winnipeg Jets, In 45 games, he had 21 points in the playoffs.
Sheesh.
Just 21. In 17 games with the Hurricanes, he's had 17 points in the playoffs. I mean, he has been.
So when they picked him up, did they expect him to be this clutch and good?
I think that was kind of the push. They had been trying to get that forward that can push them over the hump, that can score and actually contribute in the playoffs, because as we've seen up until last night, Svetch and Aho had not. And so, I mean, that was the whole Mikko Rantanen thing.
Yeah.
And before that, the dude that's in Tampa Bay, Gensel, I'm going blank on pronunciation.
Gunsel?
Yeah.
Jake Gensel.
Okay.
And so they had been trying to get that guy, and now they were able to in free agency. And, dude, it's made Tulsky look like a genius.
All right. Kevin says, how can anyone afford those prices? Tim adding, did you guys see what they did at the watch party for Game 4? They had the player and puck tracking on the ice at Lenovo. Yeah. I think it was Wags, Jonathan Wagner, who was there for that one. Either Game 3 or Game 4.
Yeah, he went for Game 4.
Yeah, and he sent some footage, which was pretty cool. Shores444 says, watch party at the Red Hat Amphitheater. It was pretty nice out here, so that's pretty cool as well. So a lot of people get behind the Canes. I will say, like, I wouldn't mind splurging on a Game 7 ticket for one of my teams. You know, that is the thing. Like, if you probably, I'm sure, like, Erica, my wife, would want to go, but I'd just be like, look, I love you, but this means a lot to me.
Yeah.
And I'd have to fly out to Seattle because I looked at going last year if they would have made the World Series. I'm like, I'm just going to solo it, and I'm going to spend some money, and I don't know if I can afford to.
Well, and, dude, it goes to our conversation before the show of, like, what's the definition of splurging? Because, you know, initially when I had these grand ideas of going to a Stanley Cup game or going to the World Series, which the Orioles won't make in my lifetime ever, thinking they would be like $700 or $800 a ticket, not $2,000 for an upper-level seat. That's banana land.
And when then splurging, it all comes down to, like, perception too. Like right now, if you guys were making the money you were making, but you didn't have kids, you were single, like $2,000 would be like, okay, well, yeah, probably no entertainment budget for the next couple months, but like you have children to pay for, you have mouths to feed. So like that is like makes what a splurge is totally different than, you know, maybe somebody your guys' age that's, you know, single.
Ramen noodles for dinner the next month.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I mean, yeah, it's one of those things. And two, I don't think I could stomach it if I spent that money and saw my team lose Game 7 in person. That would be the most, like, disgusting thing. And, like, even you going to the watch party, if you go to Game 7, like, imagine the vibe, like, sitting out the arena if somehow they lost, like, a Game 7 at home. Like, it would be the worst.
It'd be deflating, dude. Yeah.
I mean, so there's the downside.
Well, then, too, but also, like, you know, you say it would be deflating for Bob, but, like, part of me, he's driving from Greenville. Like, when you see, like, the watch parties outside, like, Madison Square Garden, like, some of those people walked, like, 3 blocks to get to that watch party. Like, is it still deflating? Yes. It would be deflating sitting in your house, too, which is 3 blocks away. So you have a long walk home.
Which, something needs to be done up in New York City. That's freaking bonkers, dude. I mean, it has gotten crazy. At one point, it has kind of crossed over the line from being hilarious to just, like, I don't know. I don't want to be in dad mode, but completely unsafe for people walking the streets of New York City.
It's ridiculous.
There is a line that feels like it will be crossed or has been crossed already. All right, let's get a break in. We'll come back. We'll keep it close to home in segment 2. Big news, Jake Gautreau, hitting coach at East Carolina, on the move after 1 year. Not really shocking. We'll break that down. Also, Bryant Packard elevated to ECU's primary hitting coach. We'll hit on that next.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro-adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
the best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers does real burgers better than anybody. And don't forget about the cheese sticks, fresh salads, and more. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, burgers and sports at its best.
Go Pirates! Arg!
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation from a real person? Right. That's what's so nice about Phelps Chevrolet. After more than 50 years serving our community, Phelps remains family-owned and operated. Mike, Daryl, Wave, West, Alan, and Clay deliver hometown service and integrity, same as always. They share your experience, they share your values, and they are ready to help with any motoring need. Come get you one.
Daughtridge Gas and Oil has been your dependable propane supplier for 95 years. Their trained technicians can service and properly install all your propane and natural gas appliances. Plus, Daughtridge Gas and Oil is your backyard expert with fire pits, grills, smokers, and more, including quality outdoor furniture at their Greenville Patio and Hearth Shop at 1901 Charles Boulevard. Go by and see the knowledgeable staff at Daughtridge Gas and Oil for propane delivery or call 756-1345.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
Oh, hey, welcome back. You got here just in time. This is Hoist the Colors on 94.3 The Game.
Back in segment 2, Hoist the Colors here. We got Bobby Harward in studio, brought to you by Sup Dogs today. Philip Pilkington behind the glass, intern Mary running our social media stuff. And let's get to the big news close to home, East Carolina, with another staff news item. Not really a surprise. I think when Jake Gautreaux was hired from Mississippi State after Chris Lemonis was let go last offseason, most people probably expected this to be a short-term stay in Greenville, given his status as one of the premier hitting coaches in the country. Cliff Godwin brings him in as ECU hitting coach. He now departs after 1 year. He actually is rejoining Chris Lemonis, who he worked for years with at Mississippi State, won a national title with at Coastal Carolina, as Lemonis was hired to replace Kevin Schnall earlier this week. So once that move was made, it kind of felt like a matter of time, and ECU had a plan in place to react, much like when Austin Knight left and they promoted Jake Agnos to pitching coach. ECU promotes internally again. Bryant Packard will be ECU's new hitting coach. He was working with the outfielders before. He will continue to work with the outfielders. In addition, Thomas Francisco, who is the director of operations and working with the catchers, will be elevated to assistant hitting coach and also continue to work with the catchers. So ECU will hire a new director of operations from my understanding. So what you have now is 3 former players, all played on the 2019 team, and Jake Agnos, Bryant Packard, Thomas Francisco, now all full-time assistant coaches, on-field assistant coaches. Cliff Godwin going into year 13. Jeff Palumbo also going into year 13, although I've heard he's had significant interest from other programs. South Carolina looked at him for a little bit after Schnall was hired there. They end up hiring Wake Forest, longtime assistant coach, and now I've heard Wake Forest could be looking at Palumbo, although I'm not sure he takes that position. But there's just been a lot of movement in the area, which is why Palumbo is being courted, and we'll see how that plays out. But right now, Bobby, you have Godwin, Palumbo, and then the 3 really young assistant coaches, but 3 coaches that at least have been at ECU as players and coaches, know the program. So your thoughts on the Packard news?
Yeah, I mean, that's number one. It's awesome for Bryant Packard. That's a awesome deal for him to, one, be coaching at his alma mater, but also from a just professional standpoint, already being named a hitting coach as young as he is. And the fact, two things I like about it. One, he's obviously familiar with the program, being a former ECU player and honestly star here, but then also his familiarity with Cliff Godwin. And I know he played for Cliff, so that's an obvious, but also just being on staff with him the last few years, seeing how he operates, should be a smooth transition. My hesitancy and concern is obviously now you have a really young staff outside of Palumbo. That's the concern. If you try to relate it to other staffs and coaches and just probably more so in the football realm, David Cutcliffe was one who would always promote from within at Duke. Obviously, he had a ton of success. It ended up catching up to him at the end of his career, but he would always promote GAs. Mike Leach was another one that had a lot of success that would always promote GAs, would rather hire guys that he's comfortable with and trust. Hopefully, Cliff has that same success and that carries over with these new staff. I mean, when Guttrow came over, we knew it was going to be short-lived. Like, I was shocked zero bit when we found out that he was leaving. I mean, that was not a surprise. And honestly, you kind of been warning people throughout the offseason anyways that it was a high possibility on the outskirts. Just from that move alone, it's not the best look. Just when somebody sees a headline, ECU hitting coach goes to Coastal Carolina, you think that's a lateral move. But when you look behind the curtain a little bit and see that he worked with him at Mississippi State, it makes a lot of sense.
And ECU was, they were paying, obviously they're paying Palumbo a lot. They were paying Austin Knight. I don't know what Agnos and Packard would end up making, but they hired Gotro for less than $100,000 or right around $100K because he was still being paid by Mississippi State. That contract's now up, so he's going to go back up to making, good money. And I don't know what he's making at Coastal, but ECU may have made a competitive offer, but it just always felt like that was kind of inevitable. Philip, your thoughts on the latest moves?
I think this might be the way to get back to Pirate baseball. Whether it be the Henry Lartigue era or the Jake Gotro era, it felt like it wasn't Pirate baseball. And not that I think either one of those guys are bad hitting coaches, but I think those guys have different philosophies than Cliff Godwin. So you've got one hitting philosophy coaching, and then you've got another one making the decisions at third base on game day. I think we are going to go back to a lot more sack bunts. I think we are going to go a lot more being very patient in counts, waiting till 2 strikes to hit. And even though that's not a fit for everybody, and that's why some guys have left, that was the most successful era of East Carolina baseball. I think Packard is going to be the hitting coach, but it's going to be with a Cliff Godwin philosophy. I think this is going to look like the 2019 team, the 2021 team. I think this could be really a huge move in the greater landscape of East Carolina baseball.
Can I ask this question since data analytics and all that stuff is so involved? And Philip, it's more to kind of what you were just alluding to, like Cliff Godwin's philosophy of working the counts and that sort of deal. And it seemed like we were more aggressive this year. It seems to me across all of MLB, teams are more aggressive too, which probably is what Coach Guttrow was falling in line with from an analytic perspective. So what do you think makes us have, or how we've had success in the past working those counts? I mean, it's a completely different approach, but do you have a feel one way or other, this question is for both of you, why we go with this approach and why we've had success? And do you think it was just too much of an adjustment for the guys this past year to change philosophies?
I do think if you look at ECU historically with their best offenses, they get on base a lot with the free passes, and they've got a combination of patience and power. This year, more so, you didn't really have that power, so they got to get back to hitting for more power. But also, like they historically thrive on the big innings, and in college baseball specifically, you get those big innings by being patient. Because how many pitching staffs can consistently throw strikes, especially in the American Conference? Now, you run into issues when you face a North Carolina or you face a really good staff that pounds the zone. Then you kind of have to hit your way on base. So, I just think Cliff and ECU at times go with the philosophy of, all right, at the end of the day, there are only so many good college arms. The more pitches we see, the greater chance we have to walk, the greater chance we have to get to the bullpen. We all know college baseball bullpens are not good, especially in the American Conference. So I think they try to be patient. They're diligent in their patience to get to the next guy, work the pitch count up. And also, the deeper you get into a count, specifically when ECU has a run-oriented team, if you get 2-0, 1-0, 2-1 counts, those are hit and run counts because more times than not you're going to get a strike theoretically, and that would lead you to have more success in that. You're not going to hit and run when you're down the count too much, because then you're trying to face the pitcher who's trying to waste one. So that's just kind of the philosophy I picked up on over the years.
Gotcha.
I don't know if you got anything to add, Philip.
Yeah, one of the things too, man, is when you're seeing college arms, the secondary stuff consistently is not going to be great, right? So, say a guy's second pitch is a slider. If you've seen it already one time in the at-bat and maybe even taken said one pitch in the at-bat, you really get to see the rotation. You get to find a way to recognize it, and then you have a better chance of barreling it up, moving forward. Now, if you're facing what Trey Savage was with that splitter in college, those kind of guys, what I'm saying is not going to apply. But also, when you're facing against the best arms in college baseball, a lot of the points the three of us are making are not going to apply, right? But when you talk about arm in and arm out, especially in the American weekend in and weekend out, just the more pitches you can see in an at-bat, you can see theoretically what all a pitcher has, and maybe even if you don't see it, you don't barrel it up in that AB specifically if it's a starter that second time through. I mean, there's nothing better sometimes than striking out on 3 pitches, looking and seeing all 3 pitchers that a pitcher has. A really good hitter can come out and find a way to barrel them up the next time through the order. So, just working the counts is a big thing, and like you guys said, that also really translates to getting into those crappy bullpens a lot earlier.
The other thing is, I feel like ECU, I mean, the way they run their offense is so unique. And, like, I as far as I know, I don't think Cliff Godwin has any plans to give up coaching third anytime soon. So, like, he's going to run his offense. He's going to do the signs. They're going to have something on almost every pitch. And, like, you can watch any other program across America. No coach at third base is that involved pitch to pitch. So, like, I just feel like ECU is such a different animal with how they run their offense. It's hard. Jake Gautreau, I think his track record speaks for itself. He's an elite hitting coach. Lartigue, I can't remember where he ended up this year, but wherever he did end up, they were having good offensive success as well. So, like, I just think ECU is so unique that specifically on the hitting side, I almost would rather than promote from within, go with a guy who he's seen it from a player perspective, Bobby and Packard. He knows, hey, this is unique, but I know how to handle it from a player's perspective. Now, as a coach, he can also pass it along, handle it too. So, like, the pitching, I think you can argue a little more, although I'm fine keeping Agnos there too. But I think hitting-wise, I'd almost rather them go in this direction than hire somebody to come in and try to mesh it with Cliff's style, because I just don't think we're in year 13 now, and I just don't think it's going to change.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, because it was year 13, and we saw the growing pains this year when you kind of bring in an outside philosophy and try to switch up some things. And I think Philip was alluding to this in his point with a guy like Packard coming in, like, hey, Cliff is going to be very hands-on anyways. Maybe Packard has, 2 or 3 years underneath him and each year Cliff loosens up the reins a little bit, and then it eventually becomes Packard's thing maybe a little bit down the line. But again, it's somebody, and the other thing that Packard has the advantage of is being able to communicate directly to the players of what Cliff is wanting. And like, hey, Coach Godwin's saying this is what he means here, and being able to take that in from his, playing days and his perspective from that is going to be key as well.
I have seen some people say, hey, why, this is going to create a situation where Cliff is not told no because he's hiring all his former players. I would, I don't know the exact dynamics, but I do know Jake Agnos was about the only player who told Cliff Godwin no when he was a player. So, like, I don't have –
UConn game?
Yeah, like, I don't think Jake Agnos – like, I feel like he has a strong enough personality. If he feels belief in something, he's going to tell Cliff exactly how he feels. I know Packard well as well. Like, I think these guys are going to speak their mind. At the end of the day, Cliff is going to have the final say. Like, he overruled Austin Knight plenty. He overruled Gautreau plenty. But I don't see that being as much of an issue as maybe it would seem like if you're hiring a bunch of young coaches in that regard. I can see that from the outside looking in why they think that, but I don't see that being a problem.
Yeah, knowing Cliff's personality from the outside, obviously in the way he's portrayed or comes off in the media, it can be intimidating my way or the highway. As he is, though, as a competitor and a baseball coach, like, he wants to absorb.
He wants to be challenged.
He wants to be challenged and have whatever can give his team a competitive advantage in any way, shape, or form. And actually, where I think it's helpful is you have guys that are coming in that are comfortable enough with Cliff and know the right time to present it too, because presentation of when that challenge needs to be occur is just as important as actually challenging itself. Like if you catch Cliff on a bad day or bad timing with anything, like it's not going to be accepted, but knowing when to present that and counter kind of what he's saying and have those conversations is just as important. And I think now that you have guys that have been around him and now know how he operates, you're able to do that.
100% agree, and good thoughts there from Bobby Harward. And yeah, we'll see what happens with Palumbo. I'm hoping he's back. If he leaves, then I feel like you probably got to get some experience in just in that role. But otherwise, I think with Cliff and Palumbo and these guys being promoted, you have enough, and you can always add some support staff with some experience as well too. But we'll see how it plays out. I don't know if ECU's completely out of the woods yet with Jeff Palumbo getting other interests, but we'll see how it plays out in the coming days and weeks. This is Hoist the Colors. We'll be right back. We got to get a break in. Segment 3 on the way. We'll talk World Cup. Also, we haven't talked College World Series much, so we'll get to those two things to wrap up the show. Segment 3 on the way.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes, just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
In Eastern North Carolina, people appreciate things that are straightforward, honest, and dependable. For decades, our team has focused on cutting through insurance complexity for the communities we serve. And now, we're bringing that same mindset to our name. We're Flatlands Insurance Group, a simpler name that reflects the same local team, the same values, and the same commitment to the great communities we feel blessed to be a part of. Flatlands Insurance Group, your whole world is covered.
Make every day electric on the Kawasaki Electro 20 electric balance bike. Maximize the fun with long run times, impressive top speed, and Kawasaki build quality. Easy adjustability and smooth handling make everyday riding more enjoyable. And the standard MTB type tires provide off-pavement capability. The Kawasaki Electro 20 is the electric balance bike that's built to rip. Go to Ron Ayers Motorsports, Memorial Drive north of the airport, Greenville.
Your confidence makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color, not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's Cut in Color and let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, New Bern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's, where the possibilities are endless.
Loyal and bold, roots purple and gold. We're back to Hoist the Colors with Steve and Igo on 94.3 The Game.
Segment 3, we're back. Bobby Harward, brought to you by Sup Dogs today, hanging out in studio. Also, Philip Pilkington rocking his U.S. hat as the World Cup is officially underway. We'll get to the United States and kind of a look at just the overall World Cup here in a few moments. I will say, guys, I tuned into the Mexico opener last night. Now, I don't have Fox Sports app, but what I do have is Peacock. and Peacock has the Spanish broadcast. And I think I'm just going to roll with that the entire World Cup because it's absolutely – I have no idea. Look, I took 4 levels of Spanish as part of my communications degree at ECU. I don't remember much, but what I can read is their excitement level. And I honestly think that is just how I'm going to roll through the World Cup, Bobby. Like, I don't really want to pay for the Fox package unless I can get some sort of free trial. So it's pretty electric. If you have Peacock, I suggest roll with that.
I mean, that's fair. For me, that would not work. Personally, it took me 2 times of Spanish 1 in high school to be able to pass. So Spanish is not my forte. I did, however, watch the Peacock and just put it on mute on my computer. So I did have it up that way because my children were watching something on the TV, and I was like, you know what? I want to lock into the World Cup a little bit and see what's going on.
Philip, how about you? Are you on Fox or Peacock here?
Fox. I mean, it's on. It's not like you have to. I know right now, like Steven, you get away from YouTube TV this time of year because you don't really need it. But no, I've got my cable subscription, so Fox and FS1 have all the matches. Yeah, I'm gonna hear them in English. I mean, I might tune into one of those games. It does sound pretty electric. A goal getting scored, Go!
Like the Spanish broadcast for the Mexico game was awesome. So
I'm gonna tune in next time Mexico plays. Then
do it. It's a lot of fun. All right, so U.S. gets underway today. 9:00 start versus Paraguay on Fox and Peacock. Canada against, is it Bosnia this evening?
Yeah,
or this
Bosnia
afternoon?
and Herzegovina.
Okay, 3:00 start for that, and that is in Toronto. Canada's supposed to be pretty solid, right? I mean, they're supposed to at least come out of their group, as is the U.S. So what do we know about these teams, Philip? Are you going to be our soccer expert? Because I know very little.
Far from an expert. Yeah, so this
expert,
what's it called? This American team is young, and half the squad making their World Cup debut. The other half was there 4 years ago in Qatar. The defense is a little shaky, specifically the midfield. You know, are they going to put the defense in tough situations? I think is something to be worried about. The goal scoring should be fine, and their ability to create should be good. The tough thing, though, it just kind of with anything is these guys coming and playing together. One of the things they're going to do is they're probably going to run a back 3 when on offense, a back 4 when on defense. So they're going to have some rotations within different philosophies in a different formation, whether it's offense and defense. You just hope they don't get caught in one of those changes. And you hope that doesn't also, when someone's rotating forward, cause them to, just miss an opportunity going forward. So Pulisic's going to be your main playmaker. He's going to be trying to service the ball into the box and, for whoever's at that number 9 spot to get in and score. So he's going to be obviously a huge factor in the U.S.'s outcome.
Looking at the odds, U.S. is tied for 14th best to win the World Cup with Japan. Now, Spain, the favorite at plus 450. USA all the way down at plus 6,000. You've got France up there as well, plus 475. England at plus 750. Portugal at plus 800. Brazil at plus 950. And Argentina, which is trying to repeat at plus 1,000. What is your interest level in the World Cup, Bobby, from whether it be U.S. or just overall viewership?
Yeah, I mean, all the U.S. games I'm going to try to sit down and watch pretty intently. My knowledge and understanding of soccer is probably about like what yours is.
Yeah.
So like Philip was talking strategy. And
I had no idea what
I have no idea what you're talking about rotating 3 and 4. I'm trying to track.
I thought you weren't an expert, Philip. You sound like
I've
an
been listening
to
to enough podcasts to kind of like I'm just doing what they say.
The one thing I do know, and you had hit on it, and I had a friend explain this and talk this through with me who's a big soccer nut. I guess Pulisic is playing more on the wing now where he could be more effective than being at that number 9 position or being the main attacking guy up the middle, which is not to his strength. The other thing, I don't know if they're still doing it or not, talking about betting odds. FanDuel, you may want to check this. They had like 1,000% boost for U.S. to get 1 shot on goal.
Yep.
And $25. So that's essentially a free $25 right there if you want to put that bet in terms of capitalizing. I would imagine they will get 1 shot on goal. Yeah,
I would hope so. Yeah. If not, we got some problems. This would be way worse than losing $25. One quick thing I do want to hit on, though, because we got a baseball talk. If you are looking for a non-USA game to watch here in these opening days, 6 o'clock tomorrow night, I know it's a little tough, 6 o'clock on a Saturday, you have Morocco against Brazil. Brazil, obviously 5-time champions of the World Cup. They've won the most World Cups ever. Morocco made the semifinals last time. That was the first time an African nation ever made the semifinals. They just won the African Cup in January, kind of on some controversy. They actually lost the match, but won by forfeit. Won't bore people with the details of that. You can read it yourself. But still, Morocco, one of the up-and-coming countries, ranked 7th in the world. Brazil, ranked 6th in the world. Little misleading. I think Brazil's more than just one spot better than Morocco. But Brazil has some key injuries, including Neymar. Neymar is on the squad, but probably won't play tomorrow night. So just if you got one match that the wife's going to let you watch other than USA here in these first few days, Brazil-Morocco could be a very entertaining one tomorrow night.
U.S. again tonight in was it SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, California, against Paraguay. That'll be a 9 o'clock start, and then they have a week between their second games. They'll play in Seattle against is that Australia?
Yep.
So that'll be in. I guess that's going to be in T-Mobile. Is that the Mariner Stadium?
No, it's going to be at
the Seahawks.
Seahawks Stadium, and that's why
right.
we have to play a doubleheader Saturday against you guys next week.
That's right. That's right. So that I mean, those stadiums are right beside each other.
Exactly.
So
why didn't they just put you guys on the road that week?
Scheduling. That's going to be a madhouse. And then Turkey on June 25th. So this group stage will go on 2 weeks, and Turkey is considered the primary competition in this group. So hopefully we get a couple of victories and then see what happens in Game 3. But group stage, I don't know. I'm already ready for the knockout round. That's when it gets really fun.
I am too. Hearing that this group stage is going to draw out for like 2 or 3 weeks is a long time.
A lot.
Well, it's because they went up to 48 teams. You got more groups. But hey, guys, here's a reason to stay locked in. If the United States finishes second in their group, most likely they would see Argentina, the defending champions, in the round of 16. They'd be a 2. They'd play another team who finished second, and then most likely would see Argentina, ranked number 1 team in the world. Very tough way to get into the quarterfinals. If they win their group, they would play a third-place team in the first game, and then most likely would see Belgium. Belgium's number 9. They're still very good, but I think it's winnable if all the stars are aligned. I don't know if at their best they can beat Argentina. Argentina would have to shoot themselves in the foot a little bit, so winning the group is very, very important if the U.S. wants to reach quarterfinals, which I think would be kind of above and beyond expectations and something really cool to see on home soil.
All right, I'm locked in.
This man said he's not an expert. He's just dropping nuggets left and right. Well done, Phil.
I'm well read. I've read up on it. I'm not really an expert. I don't really know that much about the players. Or
you seem like you do, and that's what really counts. And we appreciate
Fake it till you make it, baby.
Your knowledge in all the sports, man. No matter what the situation is, I know I can lean on Philip to deliver the goods. And eventually we will have a NASCAR segment for you to geek out on. We've gotten away from that recently, but let's get a break in. We will talk College World Series to close the show. That gets underway this weekend as well. So, I mean, not a lot of ECU stuff going on. Big official visit weekend. We got the scoop on that on Hoist the Colors. And also that quarterback we talked about last week. Remind me to bring him up next segment because that didn't last too long. Him committed to ECU. So we'll bring up that. We'll talk College World Series as well. This is Hoist the Colors.
The power of savings is yours at Greenville Toyota with powerful deals on our huge selection of new Toyotas, like a Camry, $229 a month, or the all-new RAV4, $279. Don't miss the power of savings at Greenville Toyota.
In Eastern North Carolina, hard work matters, and it always has. At Flatlands Insurance Group, we've been showing up for our neighbors since 1963, helping families and business owners navigate change, weather tough seasons, and keep moving forward. Decades later, our purpose hasn't changed: to help protect what you've poured your time and energy to, from your home to your health to whatever comes next. Flatlands Insurance Group, your whole world covered.
Need cash for a vacation? National Finance Company is here to help. For over 50 years, National Finance Company has been the small loan specialist with loans from $1,000 to $5,000 with low payments to meet your budget. We're in the business of getting you the cash you need today. Apply online for a loan at one of our convenient branch offices and get your money as fast as today. It's easy. Get the vacation cash you need. For extra cash, visit nfcmoney.com.
Your future is full of possibilities, and Pitt Community College can help you explore every option. You can earn a degree, learn a trade, transfer to a university, or launch a new career. We offer the support you need to succeed with flexible schedules, affordable tuition, and programs designed for the real world. Your path, your future, your college. Pitt Community College. Register now.
Visit Larry's Steakhouse for a tender, hand-cut certified Angus ribeye. Other entrees include perfectly seasoned pork chops, chicken, or seafood favorites like shrimp, tuna, and salmon. Complement your meal with Larry's fresh 20-plus item salad bar, or enjoy it as an all-you-can-eat entree. Daily rotating favorites include meatloaf, chicken pastry, hamburger steak, spaghetti, pork chops, and more, all complemented with your favorite country sides. Whether it's for lunch, dinner, or our Sunday brunch, remember to support and eat local. Larry's Steakhouse.
The hunting and fishing event of the summer comes to the Greenville Convention Center, July 11th and 12th, bringing together the best hunting and fishing vendors, outfitters, and fishing experts, all under one roof. Special free events, including a mountain trout pond, indoor archery range, offshore fishing experience, interactive duck blind, and free seminars. Don't miss it. The Mid-Atlantic Hunting and Fishing Expo is July 11th and 12th.
With new Toyota trucks from $259 a month, you've got the power of savings at Greenville Toyota. Drive Tacoma's $259 a month or Tundra's only $399 a month at Greenville Toyota, where our volume saves you money.
He's got his finger on the pulse of ECU athletics. Word of caution, though, we're not sure where else he's had that finger.
Ew.
Back to Hoist the Colors with Stephen Igo on 94.3 The Game.
All right, welcome back in. Bobby Harward hanging out. It's the first time he's heard that rejoiner. Not my favorite, but hey, we're just going to roll with it. Philip Pilkin and
Had to get a
producing.
laugh out of Bob.
Y'all remember that quarterback commit we were talking about last week, how good he was? James Perrone from Miami.
Yeah.
Since then, he has transferred high schools back from St. Thomas Aquinas to Miami Central. He's also about to transfer commitments for the third time. He was South Florida. He committed to ECU. Now he's visiting Pittsburgh. So that was fun while it lasted. And I don't even blame the kid as much in the situation. I think it's more of an advisor-agent problem, which goes back to college sports and high school sports being broken.
Well, clearly the idiot advisor/agent didn't watch the military bowl and know which one's a better school bus or Pitt.
Where's Mark Miller when you need him? I saw him walking around earlier.
I think he's going home.
Yeah. So look for that. ECU will get several commitments this weekend, though, from other players.
I'll go ahead and make a bet. He doesn't even end up enrolling at Pitt. He goes somewhere else before
so?
that. Yeah, 100%.
Pittsburgh doing this because they lost. This is like true quarterback roulette. Pittsburgh's quarterback commit flipped to USF. Perrone was committed to USF. He decommitted, committed to ECU, and now Pittsburgh is about to get ECU's quarterback commit. So, gotta love recruiting. All right, College World Series gets underway today. Troy opens against West Virginia. West by God, Virginia at 2:00, and then Ole Miss UNC tonight at 7. That should be a fun one. Haven't checked to see if they're throwing DeCaro or Lynch. I'll try to do that real quick. And then Saturday, Oklahoma, Alabama on the other side of the bracket, and then Texas, Georgia, the nightcap. So, man, between the College World Series and the World Cup, I'm locked in this weekend to the TV, Bobby.
And you got the NBA Finals, and you got the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
And Sunday night, you also have USC on the White House lawn as well for any UFC fans out there.
That's the thing.
Yeah, they're like they got the octagon on the White House lawn, and dude, the card. I was looking at the card the other day, freaking stacked. It should be an awesome card.
Is Trump going to be out there? I guess
I would assume so. I don't think he's going to any more basketball games. I read, so I'm assuming he'll be out at that deal Sunday night. Which unfortunately that conflicts with the Hurricanes game, which that's the priority. But still, pretty cool event nonetheless.
So UNC expected to throw DeCaro. It looks like. In this contest against Taylor Rabe from Ole Miss. Not sure the pronunciation there, Rabe. What opening game intrigues you guys most? Troy, West Virginia, Ole Miss, UNC, Oklahoma, Alabama, or Texas, Georgia?
Yeah, I think Texas, Georgia is obviously the headliner there. Those are two of the best teams in the nation. The other one that, from a competitive standpoint, I like the UNC Ole Miss game as well. I think that those two are kind of the top that I'm watching. Did we get a final standings on the CWS predictions?
We have not, because probably they're so bad.
Philip, did you get all 8?
All 8 teams?
Did you predict all
From
8?
last week?
From last week. No, because I picked Oregon.
Okay, I got 7 of 8 as well.
I could have missed other ones. I don't remember what the hell I said.
I had Mississippi State was the one I missed on. I had them beating Georgia.
I missed several because my Red Storm did not come through for St. John's, and neither did Little Rock.
Yeah.
I know I got Georgia and Ole Miss right.
I think you got the Heels right.
Yeah.
Or did you go with the...
I went Heels.
Yeah.
Honestly, man, I think this is I think, I say that and I picked Texas to win the World Series on our social media page, but I really feel like it's Texas or UNC. I just think they have the best pitching. Typically, pitching plays in Omaha. Really intrigued to see what Georgia does with their offense in a bigger park.
I think that game could kind of set the tone for the World Series, right? Like, if Georgia goes out there and wins and mashes, like, maybe Georgia can win this thing. But if not, I think it's almost like the inevitables here. It's Texas against the Heels.
I'm going to call West Virginia represents that side of the bracket. I think North Carolina's been a little shaky for my liking. I know USC gave them a run for the money. The Mountaineers are riding high. Country Road, take me home.
I will buy you a Sup Crush if that happens.
All right, bet.
You also have Alabama winning, which I kind of like because Bama has won a lot of close games, low-scoring games this year, and that's how you have to win in Omaha at times. So I like that as a dark horse pick. I'm not a fan of it. We got to get out of here, but you can now – you know how they had the Jell-O shots competition?
Yeah.
You can now, get the packaged and send out Jell-O shots to your house, and it counts towards that. Is that not super lame to me?
That's lame.
That's stupid. You need to be on site.
Yeah. Not true. Not a true counter. All right, we got to get out of here. Fun stuff, Bob.
Absolutely.
As always, and we'll settle Orioles-Mariners next week when they meet for another series in Seattle. 10 straight games on Masson that I can't watch. And that's this weekend as well for the Mariners. Thanks to Philip. Great stuff. Thanks to intern Mary behind the scenes as well for our social media stuff. We'll be back Monday, 12